Salve, salve, meus queridos, retornando com Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 e agora estamos jogando com Godwyn. Nós já jogamos uma vez com Godwyn no jogo, eu acredito que vai ser breve, normalmente é breve, ó, que interessante, o carinha ali atrás está olhando pra gente, ó. Esse aqui. Você, cara, você está nos olhando, por que você está nos olhando? Por quê? Parada é essa, irmão. Bom, enquanto o Henry está lá servindo Sigismundo, literalmente, né? Servindo vinho para ele, a gente está infiltrado na reunião dos conselheiros ali de Kuttenberg. E aqui, coincidentemente, os inimigos de Sigismundo estão também reunidos, né? E a gente vai descobrir para que neste vídeo, fechou? Então, se é a sua primeira vez no canal ou no jogo, lembre-se que o link para a playlist para todos os vídeos desde o começo está no primeiro comentário fixado. Nós estamos zerando o jogo em vídeo, fechou? Então, se ainda não é inscrito, já clique em se inscrever, ativa o sininho, deixa o comentário e deixa o like. E bora, fechou? Nice! Cara, jogar com Godwyn é meio problemático, na verdade. Por quê? Eu tava dando uma olhada nele. Olhem isso aqui. Demanda. Você é alcoólatra e perde menos 3 de força, velocidade e vitalidade até tomar uma bebida. Olha isso aqui. Força, agilidade e vitalidade. Tá tudo pra baixo, né? Muito, muito problemático. Ou seja, precisamos de uma bebida pra ontem, né? Vinho! Se bem que eu tenho no inventário, eu nem sei porque que eu estou procurando. Hidromel? Hidromel. Vamos ver. Bom, perdemos. Perdemos o demanda lá, né? E o coisinho tá aumentando. A gente tá estufado, mas ok. Pelo menos agora voltou ao normal, né? O Godwyn, ele é um cara... A gente não pode ir pra porrada com ele. Por quê? Porque ele já tem uma certa idade, né? Ele é mais... O ideal é a gente resolver as coisas na eloquência. Aqui, ó. Persuasão, coerção, impressão, dominação. Certo. Presença é melhor, ok. Mas a gente tem mais aqui, né? Intimidação, nem pensar. Impressão também, nem pensar. Nem dominação, né? Ou seja, persuasão ou coerção são as nossas únicas alternativas com ele. Gosto de jogar com o Godwyn. Velho. Preciso beber. É ruim. É difícil jogar com o Godwyn. Mas ok. O que nós temos que fazer? Nós estamos em... Rabost. Aqui nós precisamos encontrar Bredant e conheça o Rabino e sua escolta, né? Beleza, né? Depois de chegar a Rabost, Godwyn finalmente teve a oportunidade de conhecer o Barão Bredant. E era o companheiro de prisão de Lord Capon em Malechov, que é aquele rapaz lá, francês. Capon sugeriu a Godwyn que tentasse receber representantes da comunidade judaica de Kuttenberg na reunião de Rabost. O velho e respeitado rabino chegou acompanhado de um jovem que não parecia nada confortável em estar em meio à nobreza. Vamos lá, então. Beleza. É o Samuel. Rabino, vamos lá. E aí, Rabino?
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwyn.
Olha o preconceito.
Greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this
Com
time
certeza.
of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you looking for friends among us?
Let us say rather that we have chosen a side. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Well, maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait. A blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right.
Scarlets.
Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Godwin tem que beber, mano. Tem que beber. Não tem o que fazer. Beleza, conheço o Rabino e sua escolta. Ok. Só isso, só isso. Vou tentar falar com o Samuel de novo.
Everything all right? You look a bit out of sorts.
I can't wait for it to end so we can get out of here.
I reckon you'd have to be pretty brave to come and mingle with the Kuttenberg lords.
Or pretty pissed off.
Or that.
We will leave as soon as we can. Anyway, all of these worthy gentlemen will be relieved when we are out of sight.
Would you tell me something about your community? I haven't found out much so far.
What can I tell you? It was never exactly glorious. And now especially, everyone is quaking that what is still left to us will be taken away.
Surely it wouldn't be that bad.
There are many fools who would rather take out their gall on us and start to fight among themselves. And times of uncertainty, it is always the sons of Israel who are the first to be stricken.
Bom, beleza. Nobre, nobre. João de Liechtenstein parece estar bêbado. Mano, esse povo antigamente ficava muito bêbado, velho. Hans Capon. Não posso falar com Hans Capon. Nobre, nobre, nobre. Ana de Waldstein. Guarda, guarda. Nobre. Guarda. Nobre. Nossa, quantas opções, né? Meu Deus. Tô até chocado. Nobre, nobre. Não posso falar com Lobst de Luxemburgo. Não posso falar com ninguém, basicamente, né? Oh, Kunzlin. Nobre, nobre, empregada e Volklin Braben.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
No, and I'm glad to meet a new friend.
Godwin é muito bom nisso.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off.
Com certeza.
How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led
Heroicamente ele teria defesa
and
Gutenberg.
only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
The last time was at Nabokov. And I'd be happy not to have to repeat it.
Ah, indeed. I have heard it was a very unequal fight.
That's a fact. No one was expecting von Bergau to turn up with that diabolical invention.
Diabolical, perhaps, but in my opinion, it shall be the future of
Com
warfare.
certeza.
Perhaps one day the generals will sit back drinking wine, while such devices shall wage
E
war.
é isso que acontece mesmo.
Do you reckon the defense of Kuttenberg would have gone better if you had them? Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
You say you're a poet. How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a farce to you? Is
Ou seja, esse cara ele só falou, falou, falou e não falou nada, na verdade, né?
to recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand
Aí.
me.
Ah, não. Liderei a defesa de Gutenberg. Houve, só perdi por conta de uma reviravolta. Ah, qual reviravolta? Ah, meu amigo, é claro que você não conhece a guerra. Ah, você é um poeta, que tal recitar um ou dois versos? A poesia é uma mentira pra você, né? Ninguém me entenderia. Aham.
How come almost nobody here
Charla, é assim, já era óbvio que a gente já sabia
Incognito.
A gente já sabia que ele era um charlatão, mas agora mais e mais, né?
There, everyone
Poxa,
was my
se bobear, esse cara é espião.
I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Fala demais, fala demais.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing.
Sem acordo. Problemático.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Ah, queria mais alguma coisinha.
Oh, that went just as expected. Good health. And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here? I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst of all.
Com certeza.
He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that you
Delicado para Godwin.
has certain shortcomings.
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves. But he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea,
We'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
I'll get on.
Bora.
Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
Charcar o caneca é com o godo, hein, mano? Eu só não posso ficar bêbado. Obtenho o apoio de Ana de não sei o que e o apoio de Haman Alder. Waldstein. 3 então, né? Tá. Ai, ai. Beleza. Temos um aqui, aparentemente. Ana.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
Money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Job's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the 2 of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Desculpa aí.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
Fazer aquela massagem no ego.
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on 2 fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him,
Nossa!
I support your proposal.
Meu Deus!
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Haman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Aldo will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Meu Deus, que dificuldade, hein? Caralho. Beleza. Todo mundo sempre serve apenas aos próprios interesses, né?
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
I'd like to check your horses out. See if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without a by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
Meu Deus.
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I'll talk to you later, Father. This is important.
You're in my home, so you'll talk to me first. What is it you want?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then. What are you doing here?
We'll talk later and in private. Right now, we have more important things to attend to.
Don't try my patience.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sasau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Meu Deus, hein, Godwin?
Sing it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Eita porra.
I refuse to fight. I'm here as an envoy, not a jester.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud
Deus.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame, as always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. They don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Temos que ganhar desse cara, então, né?
A very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. Yeah.
Left arm lower!
Easy boy.
Fucking hell.
fudeu, otário.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing
Papai.
That you could teach sword fighting in a school.
O interior é difícil.
Oh, you know how it is. The countryside is tough. It's dog eat dog. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the
Família complicada.
because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
Meu Deus.
First time he took me hunting. He let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
Meu
I
Deus.
always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me and tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Beleza. Ok. Bom, então já estava predestinado, né? Falta só então o item apoio de Bote de Kronstadt. Meu Deus. Oh my god. Tá, vamos dar uma lavada na cara, né? Óbvio. Não estamos sujos. Só sujamos o nosso queridíssimo irmão mais novo. Aqui? Aqui. Meu Deus. Meu Deus. Troque os documentos nos alforjes. Alforjes é a paradinha do cavalo. Why not?
What brings you here? Don't you want to leave already?
Eu sei, meu amigo. Tudo bem. Sem problemas. Não fiz nada. Let me see. Let me see. Tá, vamos no L primeiro. Que é lá em cima. Tinha que chegar no meu pai agora. No caso, o pai do Godwin, né? Falar aí, seu bosta. Perdeu o otário. Nem sei que história. Na real, o Godwin ele parece um pouco errado, né? Na história. Então, lá embaixo. Lá abaixo. Abaixo, agora tá acima, irmão? Não, tá aqui mesmo.
They're trying to do one thing and one thing only.
Sir Bochek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
For a moment.
Puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with him.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
Coin.
My attention, but not my money yet.
Yet. Ainda não, né?
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Saqueado, né? Isso não é covardia?
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently.
Amém.
I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
Sensato.
Need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
E quanto a mim? Opa, passa a novinha pra cá, né? Jovem Lord Capon.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Eu achei uma boa. Sinceramente. Lord Capon merece uma coleira no pescoço. Tá, pera lá. Let me see. Tá, eu tenho que falar com o pai lá, né? Não sei se ele é pai, se ele não é, o que ele é. Vamos falar com a Ana.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Milady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and...
Olha que belezinha.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Mas será que se eu beber demais o bicho pega? Tá. Paradinha de bêbado tá subindo? Tá. Mas... eu preciso falar com os carinhas lá agora. Onde estão vocês? E aí, seu bosta? Seu bosta. Se ferrou. Mano, eu preciso achar os caras lá. Será que eles estão aqui embaixo? Ah, eles estão aqui. Aqui.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me.
Of course
We
not.
didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know?
Esse é pai do Henry.
And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
Sei lá, não sei.
God grant him eternal rest. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well,
Godwin.
Could be a miracle. Praise the Lord! Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? My Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
É uma situação benéfica.
Well, I explained to him how such an alliance could be mutually beneficial.
Mutually? What do you mean?
He's got a pretty serious personal interest in this...
Vínculo.
Bond.
Stop beating around the bush and spit out what you promised him.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it.
Ele riu.
Young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot
bom.
of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. Let's drink to it, shall we?
Hans se fudeu.
Cheers!
Cheers!
To you, and to your parlaying skills.
Cara, meu Deus. Eu pensei que eles iam achar ruim, mas bateu tudo certo. Excelente. 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 Nossa, que dó do... É um galinhão, hein, mano? Hans Capon vai se casar. Ah, que delícia. Merece, merece, merece. Definitivamente. Cara, Hans Capon merece... Ele precisa Para a própria segurança. Ele precisa ficar quieto. Cadê o Liechtenstein? Ah tá, eu tenho que falar com você.
Your niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Adorei.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink.
Nossa.
What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yivka and the unhappy Lord Cable.
Here's to a good bargain.
O que importa, né? O bom negócio. Eu tenho que tomar muito cuidado. Muito cuidado. Tá. Eu acho que eu vou... Tem poção? Não. Não tenho. Mano, eu não posso ficar mais bêbado. Não posso falar com você. Nem com você. Fudeu, hein? Ah, tá. Estamos de ressaca. Embriaguez, na verdade. Estamos bêbados. Mano, eu preciso de uma poção. Será que tem poção aqui? Frango! Ah, eu posso entrar aqui, é possível que... Eu vou procurar uma poção pra ver se cura a embriaguez. Bom, realmente não achei nada de nada. Então vamos falar com João de Liechtenstein.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink.
Bebida, irmão.
So if you'll excuse me, my lords.
Cutscene.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
Very chato.
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians. Our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitzka, will take young Lord Capon
as her husband.
Ah, que delícia. Acabou o mundo, Hans Capel. Cara, muito bom, muito bom. Merece, grandão.
Lords
Merece.
Kronstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Oh.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Lutaremos essa guerra, senhores. Hans Capel está desnorteado. O que já era de se esperar. E o papai tá indo embora. Sempre dá trabalho, né, Hans Capel? Vai querer fugir, safado. Safadinho. Enquanto isso, na Câmara Municipal de Kuttenberg. Pô, a Câmara Municipal é muito da hora, mano. Ai, meu Deus, vou ter que servir o cara.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed.
Com certeza, isso sim.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
Pior do que você acha, irmão.
Sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't
Todo mundo com medo.
anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see,
Aproveitar que o Eric tá sangue no zóio, né?
make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those
Todo mundo no cagaço.
be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire.
Sir.
As you wish.
Sir.
Sire.
Sir.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the King's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, poor as it has to be, monks have good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year.
Ela tá me agradecendo.
Been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace, at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
Esse daqui é o tinto, né?
Just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities. And get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
but the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
Parada, né? É um negócio assim, tipo...
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will...
Simulador de garçom, hein? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
We could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see.
Não era pra eu estar aí, né? Mas beleza.
To the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
No, sire. It would be inappropriate for me to drink with you. I apologize.
As you wish. To your health, Marquardt. And to our upcoming victory.
Parada, hein? Agora eu deveria ter bebido ou não? Sei lá, não sei. Parece que o rei tava querendo me pegar. Vocês perceberam? Eu acho que ele agradou demais, na real. Eu ia ser encoxado pelo rei? Oh my God. O banquete! Missão principal iniciada. Fale com Liechtenstein e comemore com os convidados. Gritar. Eu não vou cantar nada. Mano, foi e voltou, foi e voltou. Tá bom. Beleza. Vamos lá.
I am not drunk. At the French court, I drank many under the table. Even the notorious
hunger, poverty, and plague. It's too much.
How'd you like our wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in
Todo mundo bêbado.
Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to...
Esse cara é muito difícil de engolir, mano.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if you'd only known he had a real connoisseur here,
Best barrels. Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the
Falando
thing
mal do vinho.
is of little consequence. Give me 100
Ela é chato.
knights in full armor.
Saca. O que eu vou fazer? Eu vou tomar isso aqui. Daí a ressaca vai embora mais rápido. Vou falar com você, Liechtenstein? Tem.
You in need of something, my wife.
Bem lubrificado.
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well.
Mano, todo mundo bêbado, velho.
So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come
Tocante.
now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years.
See now. Only there's nothing to drink.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of wheat.
Well, get something wet for
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make...
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has... I had my eye on him all evening. He had left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of them.
You can bet on it.
I don't doubt it.
Tem que achar bebida. Conte uma jarra de vinho. Meu Deus. Let me see, let me see. Comemore com os convidados, encontre uma jarra de vinho. Nossa! O objetivo é encontrar uma jarra de vinho. Tá, mas vamos com o B. Certo. O B lá embaixo.
Having a good time? He's a fucking bore. These old fucks.
Ah, pronto.
Idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food, even a few feet.
Wow. I'd rather have a game of...
Vamos jogar.
But for what?
For a coin.
10 gross.
Quite lately.
Tomara que eu tenha dados bons. Vocês têm dado em casa? Mano, eu tô bêbado jogando. Mole? Primeira vez que eu jogo bêbado. Eu só tenho dado ruim, mano. $750, irmão. Nada que você tem um revés, irmão. Nossa, nossa, ganhou.
Want to roll some dice?
Sure. How much will you wager?
Playing for coins a bore.
Well, I might have something.
And what might...
Let's keep it a surprise.
You can take that and stuff.
All right, all right.
Agora, tem que falar com ele ainda? Não.
Let's at least drink to your success.
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush?
All hail Jobst. He sorted things out here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's
Todo mundo tá bêbado, mano.
to give him. But you know how it goes. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. I'm too old and fond of my...
Did you at least discuss with Hanu?
Nothing to discuss. The wedding will take place at our castle Lititz, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times...
But there are... I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have...
What? In Rattay? Well...
But deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger anymore.
I wouldn't worry about it if I were you, my lady.
Comemoramos. Tá, agora eu preciso de uma jarra de vinho.
I'm really surprised you challenged me. I don't like to lose.
Uma jarra. Uma jarra. Sim, eu estou andando. Eu estou andando com uma tocha, porque é mais fácil. Jarra de lata, não. Preciso. Eu acho que muito provavelmente ela é jarra de vinho mesmo. Eu acho que pode estar. Com certeza tá na cozinha, alguma coisa assim. Oh, é foda Nossa, mano, o nego passando. Nego passando mal, velho. Tá louco.
Good day. What would you like?
Sorry, I don't want to...
What do you think? A fortress full of hungry mouths and half of them noble...
I haven't eaten so well in a long time. Lord Odoran was fortunate in his choice of cook.
He didn't have to choose me. My old ma spent her whole life in this kitchen, and my grandmother before her.
Isso daí é trabalho escravo.
Wait, you Kavietas...
It's been a long time since anyone... I was afraid you'll forget...
Média. Difícil, vou ter que ir na média, porque 17 é muito pouco.
You haven't changed at all.
But I have. And you've changed too. You left a haughty young pup, and now you return...
An old dog.
Not at all. The years have been
Ah, Godwin vai se dar bem, moleque.
And how have you been all this time? Did my father give you a hard time?
Not really. When he remarried and had another son, his mood improved quite a bit. I also got married. And soon I had my little Elishka running around under my feet in the kitchen. Young Sir Christopher used to come and play with her sometimes. He was always a very nice lad.
Tell me more about Elishka.
She's a big girl now. She's a maid here for now, but I'm sure they'll find her a better job soon.
Well, aren't you worried about her? A young girl doesn't have it easy in life.
Even as a little girl, she used to beat up the boys in the village. I
Boy.
put up with all sorts of things without a peep, but not her.
And your husband?
Cooper? He died when Alicia was just
Godwin vai se dar bem, moleque.
bitten by a dog, and the wound festered. It was quick.
God grant him eternal life.
É difícil, mano. Difícil, mas ela meio que sobrou pra mim, né?
Why don't we go somewhere together? Somewhere private. And reminisce about the old days.
You really haven't changed at all. You ought go and stop chasing girls. I mean, it's embarrassing at your age.
Where might I find the really good wine here?
Why? You don't like the stuff from the kegs?
It's not for me. One of the distinguished guests asked for it.
Aha. If you go down the cellar stairs, you'll see the pictures lined up on the table. It's Lord Odorin's best. He's drunk plenty of it himself today.
Ok, fomos rejeitados pela nossa antiga conhecida, né? Beleza, aqui Precisamos... Ué, o que aqui tá falando pra subir? Entendi. Não entendi. Ah. Pegar a vermelha.
The rat'll be good, I hope.
I hope so. Nossa, agora eu tô carregando como se fosse um negócio assim super pesado.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudard.
Alguém vai morrer.
Nag of yours.
Mexendo com um cavalo, bêbado.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
É forte mesmo.
Sir, there's some horsemen right
Ih, fodeu.
outside the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to
Nossa, cagada.
the old
Meu
fox.
Deus. Não. Puta, fodeu. Nossa. Nossa, fodeu.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Nossa, fodeu. Oh, Von Burgle, né? Nossa, que cagada, irmão.
Enemies at the gates!
Era só fechar a porra do portão, seus putos. Todo mundo bêbado. Nossa, que cagada. Que cagada. Puta merda. Às vezes caiu mais brabo, né? Holy shit. Agora tá bêbado o negócio, e agora? Deu. E agora? E agora?
The surrounding Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
Deus, tá bugado, parece. Ó, irmão.
What are those fancy moves, for fuck's sake? Get that fucker out! Damn it! No, you don't! Smash it! Spicy! That's one step back! Stand your ground! Fuck that! No chance!
Morre, cara. Que cara chato, irmão.
Damn it! Bad luck!
Pô, que cara chato, velho.
Right! Drive those horses out!
Boa. Meu Deus, meu irmão morreu. Ah, meu irmão morreu. Não. Puta, fodeu. Não, não, volta. Vamos lá, vamos lá.
Can't make it on his own.
Fuck! God, when have you turned the... Yeah! Don't spare it! You got it! You got him! Slice him up! Step back! Stand your ground! We can go home! Shut your arms off! Let him have it! Yes! Right! Good! And he's still standing! No, you can go home! Let him have it! He's flanking!
Pô, beleza. Não. Quem que tá me batendo, porra? Não, eu vou morrer assim. Cadê meu irmão, meu Deus? Cara, como é difícil. Como é difícil proteger meu irmão. Caralho, caralho.
The surrounding Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
You won't get. You caught him out sweetly.
What now,
Meu Deus, meu Deus.
Bad luck. Hey, no one's hurt him. Step back. Stand your ground. Got him. Next.
Leave him alone. The next blow will send you to hell.
Beleza.
Horses out. He knows how to sword fight.
Beleza.
No one's had it. You think you can scare me? Not a chance. Hey!
Acho que defendemos nosso irmão. I think so. Parada, hein? Tá correndo? Quem que é? Não sei quem que é. Sou eu? Ah, tá. Nossa, agora eu... Sou eu, moleque. Roupinha no estilo. Até... Achei estranho esse.
Go.
Mano, mas esses caras são muito burros, mano. Tudo bem que assim, quando você tá bêbado... Mano, eu não tô com a arma.
You won't get me.
Beleza, menos um. Beleza, bora.
Taste my steel.
You won't be able to take another one like that. That's your face. Fancy moves, Bob.
Cadê?
Help me. He's injured me badly.
You'll be fucking sorry.
Beleza, beleza. Meu Deus. Descobri o que aconteceu. Eu sei o que aconteceu. Esses putos só sabem beber.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me. Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin.
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone all right?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
Tentei avisar.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
I was standing a few steps from von Aulitz when he told Sigismund I was pouring them wine, and had to listen to how Sigismund was going to give him Raborsch. It was a horrible feeling, not being able to do anything about it.
And what could you possibly do?
Kill them. Both of them.
My fingers would itch too. Was there any knife lying around? Or at least a fork?
You know what that would cause.
The war would end.
But at what cost? After Sigismund's death, his army would be cut loose. They'd ransack the city and kill anyone in their way.
Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat. Trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first.
Salvamos o irmão dele, então beleza, ótimo.
Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher meanwhile.
Caralho, irmão.
We'll knock down 3 like him.
Caralho. O negócio foi louco, hein? Olha isso. Bom, meus queridos, vamos terminar o vídeo por aqui, fechou? No próximo nós continuamos exatamente daqui. Então, se ficou até aqui, senta o like, se inscreve, ativa o sininho, deixa um comentário, vou responder todos. Muito obrigado de coração, valeu e até a próxima com Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Tá muito bom.